Hello, Internet. Finally got back out of the lake. Kind of a 4th of July vacation. Last week, I kind of touched on a topic. We were talking about balance and counterbalancing your life. Kind of touched on a topic of multitasking. I didn't actually say multitasking, but it was like, don't try to do several things at once. I thought I would elaborate on that because science has actually shown that multitasking makes you less efficient or less effective. And just like a little history on where multitasking or the idea of multitasking came from, it was like developments in CPUs. It's so fast it can multitask. It can do more than one thing at a time. See, here's the thing. Computers don't actually multitask. They just process things and task switch so fast that to us it looks like they're doing more than one thing at a time. And okay, modern computers, modern CPUs that have more than one core, they actually can multitask because this core can do this thing, that core can do that thing, and so on. But one core still only does one thing at a time. It just does this thing, and then this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. Okay, back to this one, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. And it can do this because all the information about what it was doing on this task, what it's supposed to be doing, where it's supposed to be going, and where it left off, is stored in RAM. And modern computers have amazing RAM. Humans, on the other hand, our RAM sucks. Here's an experiment to prove it. Flip through the phone book, find a random listing, read the name, the full name, the phone number, and the address. Close the phone book. What's the name of the person? What's their phone number? What's their address? You might remember their name, because we can easily chunk names into easy to remember names. You might remember part of the phone number, maybe all of the phone number. The address, on the other hand, I bet you're falling down on the address. Our RAM sucks. So when we task switch, we can't store things in RAM. We can't store our progress, what we wanted to do, where we left off in RAM. We have to store that in our long-term memory, which, like a computer, is slow to access. So if we're doing A, which is like our homework, and then we go over to like Skype to chat with our friends, and then we go back to our homework, we're going to leave off. What was I doing? It takes a minute or two to completely catch up to where we left off. And science has shown that if we just focus on one thing to completion, and then move on to another thing, focus on that to completion, and then focus on another thing to completion, we get done a lot faster than if we switch repeatedly. And unfortunately, modern society has taught us that task switching or multitasking is the fastest way to get things done. It's not actually faster, you just feel like you're doing things. It's exciting, really. It's like I'm doing this, and now 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 I'm doing this. It's almost like an addiction, and people are like so addicted to multitasking. It's insane. It's like I watch people at work, they're running around trying to do a million things at once, and they're not getting anything done. And I believe I quoted this quote last episode. It's been a while, so I don't remember. But if everything's important, nothing is important. Because if you're trying to do everything as if it's important, you're going to give everything the attention as if it's not important. And you're not going to make any progress. One thing can be important at one time. Focus on one thing at a time. And yet that means that sometimes things don't get done. Now, as a little bonus, there is an effective way to multitask for real. Laundry. Think about how you do laundry in the modern world. I'm not talking about like third world countries or the medieval area. In the modern world, with the automatic washing machine, you put the clothes in, you pour in the detergent, close the lid, turn a knob, push a button, you walk away. Now you're doing something else while you're doing laundry. And you just wait for a buzzer. If you have a buzzer. Mine doesn't have a buzzer. I have to listen to when it stops. And then you go, take the wet laundry out, put it in the dryer, close the door, turn a dial, push a button, and you walk away. Now you're drying the laundry and doing something else. Fire and forget is freaking amazing, because that allows you to truly multitask for real, and you only lose a little bit of task switching time. Just a little thing to keep in mind when you're trying to counterbalance your life.